start at the top of my mat into Tadasana or mountain pose, grounding down in the balls of my feet, maybe lifting up through my toes, having active feet here. I'm going to extend my arms up towards the ceiling with a deep inhale. I'm going to exhale, slight back bend. Deep inhale up through center. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Gonna inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, flat backs. Exhale, forward fold. And I'm gonna step, jump, or walk back to high plank. I'm gonna lower chaturanga push-up, keeping my elbows at my sides. I'm gonna inhale into an upward facing dog, maybe keeping my heels together. I'm gonna exhale into a downward facing dog, separating my feet, pushing my feet towards the ground if I can, trying to stretch out my heels. Pushing my scapula into my spine. I'm going to inhale my right leg up into a three-legged dog. I'm going to hug that right foot to center chest. I'm going to open up into a warrior two. Taking another breath here. I'm going to cartwheel my arms over that right foot. I'm going to push back into a three-legged dog. Coming forward into a high plank. Lower chaturanga push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to take a deep inhale, extending the left leg into a three-legged dog. I'm going to hug the left foot to center chest, opening up into warrior two. Pushing into the outer edges of that back right foot. Finding length and energy in both our arms, trying to keep them level. Pushing that left knee maybe slightly to the left, opening up that hip. Active toes, lifting our toes. And I'm going to cartwheel those arms over the left foot, pushing back into a three-legged dog, coming forward into a high plank. Chaturanga push-up lower. Inhale into an upward facing dog. Exhaling back into a downward facing dog. Once again, taking a deep inhale, extending the right leg up towards the ceiling, hugging that right knee to center chest, this time opening into a high crescent lunge, clasping my hands together. Once again, we can have active toes. I'm going to cartwheel my arms back over that right foot. Gonna take that right foot back into a three-legged dog, coming forward into a high plank, lower chaturanga push-up, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale, taking the left foot into a three-legged dog, hugging that left foot to center chest, placing that left foot in between my hands, inhaling up into a high crescent lunge, clasping my hands together maybe. Straightening out that back right leg. And I'm going to cartwheel my arms back over the left foot, taking the left foot back into a three-legged dog, coming forward into a high plank. Chaturanga lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale, taking the right leg into a three-legged dog. Hugging the right knee to center chest, opening up into pigeon, taking the left calf parallel to the mat, the right calf parallel to the mat. Slowly lowering down. Taking 2 breaths here. Trying to open up that right hip. Start to walk back, grounding my hands into the mat, sending my left toes back into the mat, carrying the right leg up into a three-legged dog, coming forward into a high plank, chaturanga push-up, inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg into a three-legged dog. Hugging the left knee forward, opening up into pigeon. Taking the right leg directly behind. Slowly lowering over that left knee. Opening up the left hip. Taking 3 breaths here. Slowly starting to come out of this pose. Pressing the hands firmly in the mat. Sending the right toes back into the mat. Extending the left leg up into a three-legged dog. Coming forward, chaturanga push-up, lower down. Inhaling into an upward facing dog. Exhaling to a downward facing dog. Gonna come forward, drop my knees into a tabletop position. Gonna send my knees slightly out to the side. Exhaling back into child's pose. Gonna stay here for 5 breaths. Maybe walking my hands slightly forward. Opening up my shoulders a little more. Maybe open up my hips a little wider out to the sides. Resting my forehead on the mat, maybe rocking my head from side to side. I'm going to come forward back into my tabletop position. I'm going to push up and back into my downward facing dog. I'm going to step, jump, or float to the top of the mat. I'm going to come into a forward fold here. I'm going to take a deep inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, flat backs. Exhale, forward fold. I'm going to take a deep inhale all the way back up towards standing. I'm going to carry my hands to heart center. Samasthiti. Namaste.